Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Made from 1999 to 2003, this is the much sought first generation Vacheron Constantin Overseas Chronograph, the military dial variant in stainless steel. Now, the first generation of the Overseas Chrono was a very wearable watch, 40 millimeters in diameter by 12.6 millimeters thick, and end link to end link across the wrist. It has a full span laterally of 51.3 millimeters. This generation of the Overseas Chrono is easily the most wearable of the lot. On my wrist, 16 centimeters circumference, it's enveloping and imposing, impressive and broad. Though the case is not large, and as you can see, it slides easily underneath the dress cuff, the integration of the bracelet is such that the watch reads visually as a larger timepiece. A truly impressive design effort draws on the conventions established by Vincent Kaufman and Dino Modolo in their 1996 Overseas Chronometer. This watch, featuring what I believe to be the most intricately detailed and exhaustively finished bracelet of the entire Overseas series, and that's Gen 1, 2, and 3. You can see that there's a lovely fluting down the center links and a contrast between polished and satin finished elements that's more complex than what you'll find on later versions of the bracelet. In profile, you can see that it is polished on its side, but intriguingly, it's also polished on its underside. Now, this watch, which I should mention we have not refinished, retains its original factory metal, so if there are some swirls, scratches, or scuffs, they are all on original Geneva steel. The timepiece is beautifully made. You can see that the bracelet is retained by screws and bars, which is more secure than spring bars, and frankly, it's the way I would wish to see this. There's a very slight taper of the bracelet, which is an upscale detail often omitted on cheaper integrated bracelet sports watches. You will note that removable links are fixed by screws rather than cheaper pin sleeves, and if that seems elementary to you, remember that today's Patek Philippe Nautilus and Aquanaut bracelets use pin sleeves, not screws. There's a double deployant clasp that is a little bit over-engineered, as there is both a locking system that I'll demonstrate, and then there is also a clamshell. So the locking system is based on this trigger. You move the trigger laterally to unlock, and then there's also a clamshell lock, so it has a sort of redundant locking system. This is a true hardcore sports watch. Double locking clasp and 150-meter water resistance, screw-down crown, screw-down pushers. You can see there's a polished Maltese cross motif bezel, satin-finished lug hoods. You can see there's a lovely transitional bevel that runs from end to end across the shoulder of the case, and the recesses of the bezel have been satin-finished while the outer flares have been polished. The dial is symmetrical, which means unlike the Generation 2, which has a big eye or exaggerated minute register, all three of these registers are symmetrically sized. We have the double-digit date, which is achieved with a Vacheron complication module. And then you can see we have grayed hands, sunken registers for the sub-registers. The registers also have polished chapter rings, and though it does feature transferred numerals in lume, we also have diamond-shaped applique white gold indices, so you do get upscale applique indices. On the reverse side, the image of the Italian naval training vessel Amerigo Vespucci. That is the ship you'll see on the Overseas series. And then the movement, Vacheron caliber 1137, is a high horology Frédéric Piguet automatic chronograph caliber, well known from many Blancpain models. It's an automatic winder with unidirectional winding action, a 40-hour power reserve, 21,600 vibration per hour beat rate. It does not have hacking seconds, but it does have a quick set date. Pivoting on 37 jewels, it is adjusted high horology style in 5 positions, and it uses both a vertical clutch and a column wheel. The vertical clutch for smooth engagement, and if you wish, you can run the chronograph continuously thanks to the vertical clutch, and the column wheel making for crisp actuation. You feel it and you hear it. It's positive and well tuned. It is a largely hand finished movement too, so if you want to know, is there a high horology movement in my high horology sports watch, in this case the answer is yes. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Overseas Chronograph. And as you can see, the military dial extravagantly and completely loomed by night.